Yeah, I'm just saying that, I think it's important to have a peaceful day.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
buses, no. Do you know what I mean? If you can, if possible, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll sleep much better.
Yeah.
If you've had a peaceful day,
Yeah.
at the duck pond or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
You will sleep like heaven. And when you go to sleep, you won't be this, sort of have like horns bibbing or anything like that in your mind. Do you know what I mean? You've had a peaceful memory.
Yeah.
You got me.
But if you are
It's
if you are leading a very busy life, yeah, when it gets to the end of the day, you have to have a routine, yeah, where the best thing to do is make sure you have your dinner, make sure you have your last meal, 2 or 3 hours, well, ideally about 3 hours really, before you're going to sleep. And also, for the last hour or so, the last hour and a half before you go to bed, you should be winding down, if you see what I mean. It should be not a lot of not being online, just kind of relaxing and, kind of relaxing your mind and kind of getting yourself into a state of state of, relaxation, so you can go off to sleep, very, and have a good sleep, So it's all about routine as well. You can do it as well, especially if you are a very busy person, but it's just about having what they would call a sleep routine. And that's essentially kind of what it is. It's just understanding what works for you, and, so if you're one of those kind of people that need to wind down an hour and a half, 2 hours before they go to bed, so that they can have a good night, then that's what you got to do. Reduce your screen time. Stop staring at your phone. 5 minutes up until you go to sleep. Stop that.
I think it depends what job you do in life, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think we've all got different jobs and things, different circumstances. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it is proven as well, though, that especially with mobile phones, the light on the phone tricks your mind into thinking it's daytime, essentially.
Yeah.
When you're staring at it for long periods of time, the artificial light that comes off a lot of these, especially the new mobile phones like my phone, the iPhone, and
Well, like I said, electricity is only quite a new discovery, really, when you think about how long man's been there, and all that, yeah. It's quite new, and like I said, we're working, we've got 24-hour streets now, do you know what I mean? Cities, do you know what I mean? Where we can work night and day now.
Yeah.
I used to work nights, do you know what I mean? And I found that very unnatural, do you know what I mean? I feel like you've got to sleep when it's dark.
Yeah.
And wake up to get all the natural sunlight and all this, do you know what I mean? You've got to be natural with the earth in a funny way, to feel good in life, to feel happy. Like I say, if you ain't had enough sleep, I've been there, do you know what I mean? I used to work very hard, I used to do removals, and I used to come home, right, and, have a bath, and it used to take me quite a while to unwind, and then I was sort of like, with my wife, or with my children, whatever, and then I'm going to bed doing another removal the next day, do you know what I mean? And it killed me, and I realised, that you've got to look after yourself, do you know what I mean? I used to pay for weight training, alright? This is sort of like I went weight training after my first girlfriend split up with me, do you know what I mean? I went straight to weight training, I was angry, you could go to drink, you've got choices, do you know what I mean? You can drink and say, look, you've just lost your, family, turn a drink and go down that road. Or you can stand up and be strong and go weight training. And I used to spend quite a lot of money on it, and I built myself up. And I was mad, do you know what I mean? And put my anger out on the weights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then 100 days, 2 months later, I met a very beautiful woman. I looked good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was really strong, Well, but I looked a lot healthier than I did now. Alright, honestly. I'm twice the age now, do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So I was paying for it, do you know what I mean? And then I went to do removals because I thought, I'm going to do weight training, but get paid for it. So I took my anger out with my job, to build myself up. Do you know what I mean? You do it for your own benefit, not for your bosses. I had a boss, and I didn't let him, one thing I did not like, if he told me, I don't mind people telling me what to do, but if they tell me to do something, or they're rude to me, I walk off.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very like that, I walk off. So, you know...
Because even though you might be an employee, you're still not there to be disrespected, are you?
No, that's right, you know, and you've got to tell your
respect,
boss
respect,
in a kind of way.
respect is mutual.
The guy that I worked for, doing removal for 15 years, you know, I fell out with him
numerous times.
Well, about 4 or 5 times, do you know what I mean? I was doing the removal, you know, like in another city one time, you know, about 30 miles away from here. And, you know, he was really rude to me one morning, whatever, and I just walked off. I thought, no, I'm not working for him anymore, do you know what I mean? You know, he's not having me. You know, I'm like gold, do you know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, you've got to be at work, right? I mean, it's when I, left my night job, all right? They want me back. You know what I mean? They didn't want to lose me. I'm a good worker. You know, it's because I'm positive for myself. Do you know what I mean? I do it for my own benefit.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm working hard, it's for my own muscles, not for, you know. You know, and he's happy because he's got a strong man doing the job. Do you know what I mean? You know, whatever. So it works two ways. You know, you've got to keep your boss happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I learned really with my boss. I learned really I've always got to do something. Do you know what I mean? Like whether it's doing this or doing that or walking this way, just keep moving.
Looking busy.
You know, just keep moving all day long. You know, and keep busy. You know, and I did look forward to coming home. Do you know what I mean? And you know, getting the job done. So I did it as quickly as possible as well. Do you know what I mean? You know, so. You know, so I enjoyed that job, do you know what I mean? You know, it's important to enjoy your life, you know, enjoy sleeping, enjoy bathing, enjoy every moment, enjoy your job, you know, enjoy all these things, you know. And, you know, like, so I am enjoying life a lot more than I did. It used to be really hard, do you know what I mean? I've had it really tough, you know, sometimes, you know, and, you know, when you split up with someone, you know, with a family, you know, and you've got 2 children, it gets even harder. You know, it really is.
More complicated.
You know, I become homeless, you know, she stole my house off me, whatever, you know, and took everything from me.
Yeah.
And left me in such a state that I could have died, do you know what I mean? But I didn't.
Yeah.
I stayed strong. You know, it's like before I lost, you know, not the girl that I loved, you know what I mean? I didn't really love her, but I was trying to love her, you know, because I just had a baby with her. The next minute she met somebody at a nightclub, you know, I thought, oh, you know, I was at the bridge, you know, do you know what I mean? Thinking about, you know, topping myself, but no, I went weight training, do you know what I mean? You know, like there's different choices in there. You can sort of go
different ways and means of
she's just
dealing with things. Yeah.
Just finished me, and then go down and down and down and lower, and then probably go to crime. Do you know what I mean? You know, I mean, your life is your dream, isn't it? You know, and I've not like had the perfect life, like I've said previously. You know, I don't think anyone has. You know, I've lost 2 families. You know, and that's been devastating for me, you know, and my mother and everything, do you know what I mean? It's destroying. But at the end of the day, I've made 3 children, given 3 lives, and I've got a future, do you know what I mean? And I'm loving it.
That's it.
You know, and I feel blessed actually in a kind of way that I've experienced so much in my life in a funny way, you know. I used to work on ships, do you know what I mean? And I used to live in so many different places, I've had so many different homes, do you know what I mean? But now I can sit here and sort of look back and think, well, I don't want to travel anymore, do you know what I mean? I've done it.
Had a good life.
Yeah, I don't want to get married again, do you know what I mean? I'm happy being alone, do you know what I mean? You know, and a lot of people are not happy being alone.
No.
You know?
Trouble is, a lot of people can't face themselves too, that's the problem.
Well, a lot of people, you know, my age, you know, not had a life. You know, I've had a hell of a life. You know, I've had, you know, like divorces, marriages, which was beautiful, you know, and I've had my hell and my heaven in my life, do you know what I mean? I really have.
Ups and downs. And
I've had you know, I could say I've had a terrible life, but a fantastic life at the same time. You with me?
Yeah.
It's amazing, you know, and I think to me, my life's got more amazing, do you know what I mean? You know, it really has. It's like a tree growing, do you know what I mean? You know, and it blossoms and it keeps growing. It keeps blossoming every spring that comes, you know, that's how I feel. You know, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow, you know. And I'm looking forward to the future, do you know what I mean? Because I think we're all lucky to have one.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that's how, you know, you know, you just got to stand up and be strong. You know, don't sit down so much. You know, keep doing. You know, then you get time, I think, to dream.
Yeah.
Which is very important.
It is, yeah.
You know, people don't get time for it, I don't think. You know, that's the problem with the world, I think, out there.
But we've all got dreams, you know?
Well,
and I think it's also dreaming in a way is good too, because it allows you to visualize. If you're one of these people kind of like me and you probably, I guess you're kind of the same way, where you can visualize things in your mind. I think that is very powerful, being able to visualize what you want in your mind and what you want to achieve and your goals and your aspirations and your dreams in your head before you even take the action to make it happen. Being able to visualize it is very important, to be able to see it, and I think helps you to even manifest it even more, even quicker, so
well,
it's important to dream. We've all got dreams. Everyone's got dreams in life. There's things, everyone's got passions. Everyone's got passions. Things that they're passionate about. Things that they want to do in life.
I haven't.
Well, you got things.
I ain't got nothing.
You got things you want.
I just want to die. I don't even believe in God.
He's talking rubbish. But yeah, he's got dreams. You've got things that you want to get up and do every day. You've got your passions, things that you're passionate about, you enjoy doing every day and spending your time doing, and things that make you feel fulfilled.
Do you know what I'm most passionate about?
Sense of accomplishment, and
Do you know what I'm most passionate about? Myself.
Yeah, as you should be.
You got to love yourself, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? You're not over the ego.
No, not in a prideful way.
I'm not like that. You know what I mean, at all. I don't admire myself.
But how can you love something or someone else if you don't even love yourself? It's impossible.
I know that I'm not the best looking person in the world. Do you know what I mean? Whatever, but I'm happy with myself. And I feel that's achievement really, just to find happiness. And I do feel like I found it. To be honest with you, like I said, I really lost it for a number of years, losing my family and all this, and it was really hard for me, but then it comes back.
Full circle.
But then you haven't got it's a bit different because you're not sharing your life with somebody and all that, you're on your own, and it can be quite good fun, if you make it.
Yeah.
And I do make it fun, every moment, I enjoy every moment, and even tomorrow I look forward to it even more a little bit, do you know what I mean? I just have fun running around doing things, I don't care what it is.
Yeah. And
I just enjoy doing it. I mean, it's like, for instance, when I do a video and I'm working really hard on a new bit of music and put a video to it, and then I sit there like for 3 hours, it's just sitting there sort of like putting this, it's like a jigsaw puzzle or whatever. I finally render it, right, and it takes half an hour to render it, right, so I think, right, run around, do the housework, put some music on, do you know what I mean, dance and do the housework, and then I might do something else tomorrow, like go for a walk, do you know what I mean, and I just enjoy life, being free, and, yeah, it's just beautiful in a kind of way, be able to dream, and get more intelligent, do you know what I mean, in the future in a funny way, as long as I use my time to be positive, not, talk about positive and negative, like when I did lose my family and that, I spent a number of years in bed, do you know what I mean, doing nothing really, apart from talking about what happened to me, do you know what I mean? And it's a complete waste of time, I think, why did I do that, why did I just, do what I'm doing today, forget about it, do you know what I mean? In a funny way.
Well, we all live in...
my children were young then, and I was missing them and all this, whatever, and it's different kind of thing, and I was protective over my children because they're young, you get that kind of thing, but now they're older, right, I'm free of that, and I just feel free in life, in many ways, it's kind of beautiful, because I think, well, I know, like I said that I've learned video editing this year,
Yeah.
And I'm, still learning about that every time I do a video, do you know what I mean? And every time I cook I might learn something, But now I think, what am I going to learn next year? Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I think life gets more beautiful if you keep climbing up. You know, and you know, sometimes you fall over.
Yeah.
Sometimes you trip or whatever, or other people stab you in the back, whatever.
Yeah.
But just stand up and smile.
Yeah.
You know, if you can.
Yeah.
You know. You know, and carry on dreaming. You know. So I think that's the main problem, really. Like, a lot of people got alarm clocks. They ain't got time to dream.
Yeah.
Or they ain't even got time to sleep. Do you know what I mean? And it makes you unhappy.
Definitely.
And you know, there is a lot of unhappy people out there.
Yeah.
And that's one, sleep. They don't get enough sleep, or a peaceful sleep, or whatever, you know. That's number one. I can't remember what number two is.
Dreaming.
No, well, yeah, dreaming's important, isn't it? You know, you've got to dream to get ready for tomorrow, I think.
Well, I think dreams can also be insightful as well, sometimes as well. Sometimes things happen in your dreams to kind of tell you something, or to show you something, or to kind of give you a message, you know.
Possible.
I don't think all dreams are just like meaningless, you know. I think there is a basis for a lot of some dreams, you know, whether it be just, like I said earlier, your subconscious mind projecting something back onto your conscious mind that you hadn't really thought about, or really, you know, what, you know, your mind was taking in that information beforehand and you weren't conscious of it, but now you're asleep. It's, you know, projecting that onto your mind, and you know, you're thinking about it or worrying about it, or having an experience based upon something you've seen or heard or watched, or, you know, so, yeah.
Well, I do kind of like live in this spiritual world, you know, where like...
But that's why they say you always wake up in a dream before you die. Because your mind doesn't know what it's like to die. If you your mind doesn't, you haven't experienced, your mind, that's why you always wake up before you die in a dream, before you...
I don't know about that, Josh, I don't know, because I feel like sometimes I've kind of experienced death a little bit, you know. Once I did die, once, you know, and it kind of experienced it, but I feel like every time I go to sleep, that is dying.
Yeah.
You do not, you know, when you're asleep, you think about it, yeah. I know that people dream and all this, whatever, yeah, but that's kind of like, I think, like, yeah, you're kind of like waking up a little bit, alright?
Yeah.
But when you sleep, alright, you're not here. You're completely dead, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at someone on the sofa asleep, they look dead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to poke them to see if they're alive or not, do you know what I mean? And it's sort of like their body's dead, and, you know, I mean, your brain completely shuts down, doesn't it? You know, your hearing goes, and you go blind. You know, it is closest to death.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, most definitely, yeah.
You know, yeah. You know, so I think like...
Well, they call sleep the sister of death, don't they? Or something like that.
It
Sleep
is, kind of,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. In a kind of way, you know, you think about it, we are temporarily going to sleep, I'm dead, we're temporarily dying every day.
For 6 to 8 hours or however long a night. Yeah.
Every time we go to sleep, we're temporarily dying from the world, you know, giving ourselves a break. And where, I mean, where do we go? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere, do we? Do you know what I mean? I just switch off, do you know what I mean? And then wake up next day and here I am again, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not dead yet, you know. I mean, when you go to sleep, you don't know whether you're going to wake up ever again.
Yeah, true. Yeah. You don't know. Yeah.
I mean, most people do die in their sleep, honestly.
A lot of people
do,
yeah.
You think about it. You know, so, you know, they might not even be aware that they died, do you know what I mean? You know, so you think, like, when you go to sleep, you are actually shutting down. Your body might as well be in a coffin.
Yeah.
Almost, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's going up and down.
Yeah.
You know, you're still breathing, whatever, but, you know, that's the only thing that's going almost, do you know what I mean? Your lungs.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is shut down. You know, and it's quite interesting, really, you know, why, you know, it gets dark, and then we shut down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Next day, daylight, you know, wait.
Well, not only that, but like I said, our bodies and everything are tuned with the sun and everything like that. That's why you produce produce something called melatonin. When the sun starts to set, something that gets produced within your body, which is called melatonin, and that's what helps you to sleep. at night. You see what I mean? That production of melatonin helps you to have, you know, depending on how much you produce, depends on, you know,
I produce lots of sperm, but I don't sperm a lot of that, I think.
But every man does. Every man does.
And I've got a lot of white cells in my blood as well, apparently.
Yeah. But they say, speaking of that, they say that apparently one man produces enough in 2 weeks to impregnate every fertile female on the planet.
Oh, that's incredible, isn't it?
Something like that. One man can produce enough in 2 weeks to potentially impregnate every fertile female on the planet. If he was, you know, just being hypothetical, but you know.
I know. I was thinking in a dream. I was thinking once, not long back, that I was born and I was the only man.
Okay.
Right?
You were here to you were here.
And every other female was women, right?
Yeah.
They were really sort of
worshipping you.
Well, they treated me like a king, you know. Do you know what I mean? They nurtured me, you know.
Yeah.
They all were my mother, all of them, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I grew up into a man, they all wanted me. Do you know what I mean? They were all having sex with me. I mean, sort of like I was having sex sort of every 3 hours. You know, as you know, in my dream.
In your dream.
Yeah, it's a good dream. You see, it's good dreaming.
Yeah.
It's good fun dreaming, you know, because you can kind of experience things in a funny way if you dream about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was living in this world full of really pretty women and all that, you know, and they all wanted me in bed.
Really?
I was really happy in this dream. It was a really happy dream.
Fantasy dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it made me smile when I'm, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a dream that you know, like I say, when I do go to sleep, I don't dream.
Yeah.
I don't dream. Or
No, you might dream, but you might not remember them too. That happens too.
Well, I think like sometimes you partly become awake, you start dreaming a little bit because you know whatever. And next day you wake up and you say, "I dreamed." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you remember.
You know, you kind of your memories are kind of coming up. You know, you're coming alive a little bit. Do you know what I mean? During the night, and you have these little dreams. You know, and then you go back to sleep a little bit. You know, but I think like sleep is being completely unconscious, completely cold out. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when I go to sleep, I am out.
Yeah, me too.
Like, well, it's not. You know, I feel like I go in a big dark cupboard, alright, and someone switches my soul off basically, with a button, you know, like that, and turns my soul off, and then someone's fixed it in the morning, and I'm awake again.
Yeah, that's a good.
You see what I mean?
That's a good analogy.
That's what I mean. I'm a good dreamer, you know. I love dreaming, you know, and I think the more you dream, the more better you'll get at it too.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know. You know, and it's just getting time to do it in a kind of way, you know. But you can't really have fun dreams sometimes when you know, haven't got time. You know, when you're busy in life, I think you've got to really dream about what ahead more, you know, and what's important tomorrow and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you can't hang around and dream of films and all this kind of stuff.
No.
Fun dreams, you know, you ain't got time for that. You know, or you might have a little bit, but not, you know, like I say, I feel like, you know, I'm quite a poor person in a kind of way, you know, I've got loads and loads of money.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really own my own home.
Yeah.
But I feel a millionaire with time.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really want to be a millionaire, you know, because, you know, I'm not here for long, you know, I mean, you think like lots of people go out there trying to get a millionaire and all this, you know, buying these tickets and all this, whatever, and playing this game and that. But I'm seriously not interested. You know, you're not here for long. You know, calm down.
Yeah.
You enjoy what you got.
Focus on what's important.
Well, enjoy that you've got 2 hands, 2 legs. Do you know what I mean? And right, you've got an imagination, for goodness sake. You know, and that's a real gift.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's a greater gift than your eyes.
Got to wake up every day and give thanks. Say, yeah, you know, grateful for another day. You know.
You know, like say your eyes weren't your ears, but your imagination didn't. Do you know what I mean? You know, your imagination is like a. You know, to me, it's like a. I don't know, like a. Something big. Do you know what I mean? It's just amazing. You know. I mean, you think about how big the universe is, alright? Yeah, and all the stars in it. Yeah, can you remember all the stars? Yeah, can you remember? You know, do you know what I mean? That is dreaming. You know, so if you, why, you know, some people think, oh, you know, like you only see the stars at night, but no, you don't. you see them at daytime if you can dream about it too.
Yeah.
You know, they're in your memories. Yeah. You know, and I've seen the sun so much it lives in me. You know what I mean? At night time, all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's in your memories for goodness sake. You know.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're asleep or not. You know, not sleep so much. You know, because like I say, you go completely knocked out. It's almost being like unconscious, isn't it? Sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, dead almost. You know.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's the nearest to dead.
Yeah, well, some people even speculate that your soul leaves your body when you sleep, but I don't know.
Think that,
I don't know if that's true or not. But there are some people that speculate and say that your soul leaves your body when you sleep. You know, because it's only a physical vessel that needs to sleep, isn't it? Your soul don't need to sleep. You know.
Some people say that, don't they? But I think. How can it travel when it's asleep? Or go
well, that's the
else?
whole thing of where they talk about astral projection and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
They talk about going places and doing things in their dreams, you know, with intention. Intention, if you see what I mean, going to sleep with the intention of astral projection, trying to go to these places and do these things in their sleep and in their dreams, if you see what I mean. So, you know, that's where that whole conversation comes in, you know, that whole topic of astral projection, you know, to do with sleep.
Well, I feel like I can do that when I'm awake.
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
That's why I say, like, I can go to...
daydream.
I can go to the moon, do you know what I mean? I can...
You can visualise yourself in Egypt now.
Well, I can imagine myself as Superman.
Yeah.
Going around there, obviously,
yeah. Clark Kent.
Oh, I can go back in time as well.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about your imagination, right? It is actually a time machine.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realise it.
Yeah.
It's a time machine. You know, you got your childhood, so you can go back to the past.
Yeah.
You know, you can step back into the past with your, you know, your imagination. You know, it is like, you know, people say, will they ever invent the time machine? Will they ever go back in time, all right? And some people might say, yeah, they can, and they will do it one day, you know, because man's so clever. But I will tell them they will never invent a time machine that will take you back to something that's happened and gone now. You can't go back to the dead.
Yeah, you can't go back.
You can't go back.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
But the only time machine that is in existence is our imagination.
Yeah.
That can go back.
And recordings and videos and these kind of things.
Yeah.
You capture history.
That's true.
You can capture, especially in this day and age where we've got a camera and we can record a video and sound and everything else.
Yeah.
You can record something and save it today on a computer, on a hard drive,
you can
or
watch
something.
a black and white film.
And 50 years from now, you can put it up on your computer and watch it. And that's 50 years ago. So it's like you kind of
Go back in time.
You're able to go back in time through, you know, having things, you know, recorded and captured and you know, whatever. You know,
but it's like
archived, you know.
So. Like for instance, Egypt. Yeah, I mean we've seen movies and whatever, and we all know what the periods look like.
Oh yeah.
We all know what the Egyptians look like. We all know, you know, do you know what I mean? We all know the artwork and all that. Yeah. Now you know all that knowledge, and you've seen films and whatever, yeah, and you've got all that in your head. You can go back in time. You can actually pretend that you're an Egyptian pharaoh. Yeah. Or you can pretend that you're a peasant, a slave, building that. You can do that. It's easy.
In your head,
You can pretend that you're banging a brick like this, and then someone's whipping you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can dream. You know. This is why I'm saying your imagination is like a time machine. It can go back. Thousand
but
years.
Also as well, because we might have watched things or seen things like documentaries or things like this, it allows us to create even more of a vivid idea in our minds based upon what we've seen or what we've heard. If you see what I mean, we're able to see it, visualize it even more and more vividly due to things that we've already seen, if you see what I mean, ideas and things that we might have seen that our minds are replaying, if you see what I mean.
You get ideas from other people's, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
That's the.
But if you had never seen the sun.